here today to talk about workforce. One of the partners that I want to introduce here today, and both of these gentlemen are partners with the Chamber. They believe in economic development at its core, but what that really looks like in practice, they know that because they're out in community. And so today, the reason we're even here and having this conversation about Kent and workforce and economic development is because Lawrence Garrett with 828, he's a founder of 828, was a board member for the Chamber for a few years. And one of the things he wanted us to do is we have a vast industry here in the city of Kent. And so he wanted us to go on these tours, and we're calling it Kent Tours, right? And so we were not able to get those tours off, but we're starting with the summit. And now what we're gonna do is give you access to some of those businesses that you may not have access to, things that are happening in the community that you don't know about, right? When is the last time you've seen a rocket ship being built? When is the last time that you've went into the back of a bakery and seen what it takes to create all of these things that we like to enjoy? And so we are going to take tours after this, not today, but tours after this event and make sure that you all understand who we have in the city. Kent is, I think, 136 square miles. And so we are residents of 136,000 people. And so there's a lot of movement here in Kent. So I just want to say thank you to Lawrence for putting the fire underneath us and the board. And so I'm going to have Lawrence come up, and he's going to kind of moderate this conversation with another partner of mine, Vaughn Taylor, who is the VP of Economic Development for the Seattle Metropolitan Chamber. And his work is really about bringing people together and ensuring that we are solving some of the problems that our businesses need. We met a few years ago, and it was right after COVID, and there was a really interesting thing happening. There were businesses, we were all struggling during COVID, right? But there were businesses that were falling through the cracks faster than others. And so Vaughn and his team were able to work with some of the community partners, King County, Port of Seattle, to fund a program called the Community Business Connector Program, where we were able to help businesses not fall through the cracks and get them the information they need. So we're gonna get up here and just give a little bit of our expertise and things that we talk about, but help me please join Lawrence and Vaughn to the stage.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lawrence Garrett, Chief Impact Officer at 828 Consulting. I don't know about you all, but I'm all about, when I come to conferences, I come to workshops, I come to events, I'm thinking, how do I get the thing, right? Because I care about my time and the value of time. How do I get the thing that I need to go to the next level? So I'm gonna give you a trick that I learned 5 years ago about these events, and we're going to practice that right now, because you mentioned practice. Yes. And so we're going to do this right now, okay? So we're going to take a second, and I want you to think of who is the person or what is the thing you need to connect to. So you heard probably amazing information today. You probably talked to a number of different individuals, and here's what we're all guilty of. We go to these events and conferences, we get cards, we talk to a bunch of people, and do we actually really follow up on all those folks? No. Maybe some. Some people are probably really good at it, but what I found, the majority of us do not follow up on the thing that we say we're going to do. So I'm going to challenge folks right now in this room to take a second to write down or get out your phone and start the email now. That business card, get it out. Start it. You don't even just put the person's name in it. You think I'm playing? I'm serious. Do it. This is the thing that we've all been wanting to do to go to the next level. And sometimes we just need somebody to kick us a little bit, right? Like, do the thing. So take a second, whatever the thing is. Was it the person you needed to connect to? Was it an idea you needed to look up? Put it down right now. Now, here's the second thing. You're going to put down when you're going to finish this. Are you going to do this by 7 o'clock tonight? Are you going to do this by 9 a.m. tomorrow? Put down the time. So that's the coach in me. I watch what happens once you make that decision. Watch what compounds after that. Then the next decision shows up. Then the next decision. I think many of us know that. It's kind of like when you go to the gym or you do that new thing. You just got to get going. Just do the thing. Okay, all right, I'm done. Lawrence Garrett, and I'm your friend. Here we go. All right, so Let's start with the questions. Yep. So what are employers across South King County telling you about their most urgent workforce challenges, and where are the greatest gaps between available talent and employer needs? We'll start with Vaughn.
Thank you, Lawrence, and thank you, Zenovia, for having me today, representing, as mentioned, the Seattle Metro Chamber led by Joe Nguyen. And today, happy to talk about anything around workforce and business development. So when we think about what employers are looking for, one of the main things they are looking to understand is how to retain their existing employers. That's first, how to upskill them, promote them to newer jobs within their organization, but also they're outside of that. They're looking for workers who are ready with new technology and new skills and industry-specific skills. So when you think about Kent and Kent Valley, those industries that are significant here would be light manufacturing. Also, there's a food production industry here, but as well as that, there's also I would say, not just aerospace, but aerospace technology. So when you think about, if that's not the industry for you, think about the supply chain in which you can plug in as a business owner or employer to take advantage of the growth and innovation within your region and community. So longer days where it's just about a 2-year or 4-year degree. It's about specialized skills, also your networks, as we all also know, but also be on the cutting edge on where workforce is now being just changed dramatically because of AI, and also to the business community.
For me, I'm hearing it, where are the pipelines? How can I get access to the pipeline for my industry? And so I have a lot of businesses that I'm connecting directly with universities and your community colleges to make sure that the information is relevant and timely, right? We are in a fast-paced, moving economy, and so we want to make sure that our employees are up to speed on what's happening, right? What I really would like to do is, because we keep getting conversations about there's always apprenticeship programs for manufacturing and for construction, but what do those apprenticeship programs look like for businesses, right? The communication skills, the social media, all of those, where are those apprenticeships for the people who are going to be able to fill in those gaps at the organizations? I had spoken earlier about working in your business and working on your business are two totally different things, right? And so workforce pipeline is critical. We should not be doing work that we're not qualified to do, because what happens, and again, this is from what I'm hearing from employers, they're leaning on things like AI without the knowledge of how to do that. And then that could have a negative effect on their business. And so employers are wondering, the number one question for me, for especially medium and small businesses, are, where's that pipeline, Zenovia? How do I have access? And who should I be talking to ensure my needs are met from the college level? So the folks are coming out of college, community college, ready to fill in the roles.
I appreciate that call out, Zenovia, the shiny toy of AI, and I don't really know what I'm really doing, but it sounds cool and it's hip and it's trendy, right? But when I actually look at the efficiency of how I'm using it and so forth, it might be more caustic right now. And so how do I get the support, right? And the things that actually drive the ROI, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. Oh, I got you. All right, so let's follow up that question. What needs to change or be better coordinated among employers, educational institutions, workforce organizations, chambers, and government agencies to build a stronger and more accessible regional talent pipeline? I'll have you go, Zenovia, and then
putting all of those people in the room. I think what happens is there's these silos, right? And there's conversations happening in South King County and Pierce County. We all need to get together and figure out what's going to be good for our state. And so everything is like more than a three-pronged approach, but certainly you need to have at least three different types of industries in the room at once. If I'm only talking to chamber executives and people who work in the chamber world, I'm not getting all of the information that I need, right? I need to pull in my elected officials, I need to pull in my government workers, I need to pull in anyone who is actively participating in the economy. That's who needs to be at the table. And I think making sure that anytime you're having a conversation, when you hear the word diversity, do not be afraid of the word diversity. Diversity means diversity in thought, right? And experience. And so that's what you should be looking for. I think that question, I can't remember all of the people that are listed there, but essentially, if you or your industry are the only people at the table, you're not really solving problems for the people, you're solving your own problem.
Mic drop. Go for it.
And what I'll add to that is, as I would imagine, it's mostly business owners, civic leaders, residents in the room. So I would also not only connect with your elected officials, but also those who are practitioners in the field, in the industry that you care about. If you're looking to get into a particular industry, so that would be your human resource managers, those human resource associations, recruiters. Also, I would say organizations that are interfacing with the community more often. So helping them connect the dots on where to find quality talent, as Zenovia has mentioned. Don't be afraid of the word diversity. If you can imagine, in 2026, employers are still saying it's difficult to find a diverse workforce. So help them do that in ways with those who have the opportunities and looking to engage with the community.
Thank you, Vaughn. Looking ahead, what are the 2 or 3 most important actions South King County must take now to prepare residents for emerging careers while helping employers recruit, develop, and retain the workforce they need? I'll start with Vaughn.
Okay.
You know we were going to do
I knew you was coming this
Yeah.
way. Big question. One thing, this is not political in any way, I would shout out that we do have a new executive office, Gurmai Zeliai, so he's now leading King County and coordinating efforts among the 39 jurisdictions here in King County. So from what every indication and reputation I've heard about him has been all positive, community first, outcomes at the core, and it's looking to be transparent and be trust first. So I would say take a look at their initiatives and what they have slated for King County. That's one. So I heard someone talk about get involved, volunteer, be a part of committees and advisory groups. So so the first answer to that question is get involved with leadership that already care about community and the well-being of your county. So that's one. 2, because this is a business forum, I would also say we talked about not being isolated. So don't think about your business just because in its zip code, its commercial district, or its home office. Think about how your business impacts or engage with customers, residents, groups like the chamber, so that you're recognized for opportunities. You'll be surprised. A lot of the opportunities that you may have missed is just because you're not present. So I would say just be familiar with those who are connected to the opportunities and that's coming your way. And thirdly, I would just say just reposition yourself as a business, as a resident, as a community, to be visible first as a destination where people want to not only work, but they want to live here, play here, things like that. So invest in your community, and also those organizations that are raising up the youth. I know the Chamber works directly with the youth in some ways too, and they're more positioned, I would say, for what the opportunities here now because of where technology is, but it's bridging the gap for those underworked employers, underemployed workers who are also adults looking for their next opportunity in the workforce.
Thank you.
Can I just say I agree with all that?
Yeah.
But repeat the question for me because I feel like there was something where I was trying to be actively listening?
Yeah, so think of this as a forward-thinking question, right? So we're gazing out into the future. What are the 2 or 3 most important actions South King County must take now to prepare residents for emerging careers while helping employers recruit, develop, and retain the workforce they need?
Be proactive, not reactive. And the only way to do that is with information. So understanding where your industry is going, I think, is really critical. And then from an advocacy standpoint, I think we need to have more, I know, actually, I know that we need to have more folks in our legislature that are business people. People who understand the unintended consequences to some of the legislation. And so making sure that if you don't know what it really means to be an elected official, essentially, in my mind, what I see are people who are here to answer or solve your problems, right? The same way that we are here with the chamber, we're here to solve your problems. That's their job. Right? And so as a business owner, you understand, again, we heard from Shannon and Associates, and we heard about the impacts of the tax implications or lack thereof, whatever the case may be, legislation coming down as it relates to 401k. All of that information, I think, is really important. But if there's no one in the room that has experience, then we're going to have some unintended consequences. And you, as business owners, as community members, as community leaders, could potentially be harmed by that, or helped or harmed, right? And so I think getting involved from an elected official standpoint, you never know what your next step is going to be. So I would encourage everybody to find an organization where they can learn about what it looks like to serve in that capacity, and do not be afraid.
Can I just say, you are hitting on something that I just spent the last 48 hours working on, or dealing with, I don't want to say dealing with, I was invested in. 8 different listening sessions coming from 8 different industries, from construction, manufacturing, healthcare, IT. Now, these were women and minority-owned businesses working with the state. And that's what they pointed out. They said, I'm not sure if the folks there who are working with us has ever experienced what it's like to run a business or to work in a business. You've studied business, right? But did you work a business before? Do you know what it feels like when you're sending invoices, you've completed the scope of work, and they're delaying payments, right?
Absolutely.
And on that note, that on the other end, if you don't mind, I'm going to speak on the public side because this is what they're saying.
Yeah.
What happens when those folks on that side don't pay you on time according to the contract? You know what the answer was? Nothing. Nothing happens to them when they don't do their part. And so that's the experience we're talking about, right? If you're not floating money, right? You got your steady paycheck. I don't know if you're really empathizing, right? So I appreciate that you pointed that very specific thing, because I was just in listening sessions about this very thing. So thank you, Zenovia.
I was just going to add to that. Great point, Lawrence. The point about more business-led groups. So I'm seeing a lack of business-led, like business associations, industry forums, such as like employer-led listening sessions and groups, things like that, because you are the people who are going to keep your peers, counterparts, and other business owners in the community, and even attract other businesses to your region, which is competitive, is not a disadvantage, it's actually an advantage to you when let's say a franchise can see the numbers work in terms of leasing a space and opening another territory market. But what's also important that a business can see, or an employer can see, that there's a strong connected business community that's led by people like you in the room. So when you think about what should King County do, they'll know to go to an organized business group rather than spinning their wheels around talking to who say they're the leader of the community today, and then also doing kind of the round robin with the elected officials, but not with the voices of business owners. So strongly encourage business-led organizations supported like organizations like the Kent Chamber.
Well, I'm gonna go right back to you, Vaughn, if that's okay.
Sure.
Last question. From your work with larger regional employers, what workforce trends or skill gaps are showing up most consistently, and how can those employers better partner with smaller businesses to strengthen the overall talent pipeline?
Well, first I would say because there's this silent kind of recession going on. People know what's going on. Business owners are feeling it first because we just talked about in terms of layoffs from the employer side, businesses not seeing the sales as they once did since COVID, things like that, and then with prices going up, and then not to mention the cost of doing business and taxes, right? So I would say that the first thing is to think about understanding where the skill gaps are, because there's this dearth of talent now that's kind of like left the workforce. So the biggest one, we know all the layoffs in the tech sector. So there's thousands of workers that are out there that have a specialized skill and maybe software development and things of that sort, but maybe they're not able to, I don't know, they might be able to upskill maybe in the field or pivot within technology, but that's a whole workforce out there looking for opportunities, maybe career change. So I would say that's a missing link or gap in the workforce ecosystem right now. More pivoting, specialized in tech. Second, I would say more specialized skills in administration, because now it's not just about the talent and experience. You need to know how to use technology to actually execute on projects and deliver outcomes. And thirdly, at a more basic level, I'll say customer service across the board. So in all categories, whether you're a small business owner to a large Fortune 500 company, that's going to be significant, and be able to speak to broader audiences and be able to represent that brand and also that community. So there's tons of other industries where there's needs, but again, figure out how your business can take a piece of, or take advantage of a piece of the supply chain within that company, whatever that is. So whether it's Microsoft, Amazon, they may not especially need your skill or service or product at a certain level. They may need facility services. They may need catering. They may need marketing. So that may what's important to us is that maybe you had that in house already, or you maybe revamp your business a bit so you can take advantage of another revenue stream and hire another person to check in to see how's these organizations restructuring, given that it's so turbulent right now in the workforce.
Well, Vaughn, you don't even know how you helped me out when you mentioned customer service, because internally I've been struggling for the last couple of years thinking I'm the get off my lawn guy when it comes to working with retailers and other folks and a poor quality service that I felt like I've been experiencing. But the fact that you said it, now I can go back to my wife and friends and say, no, there's data. There's data that says customer service is going down. Is it just me? Okay, all right. I know I've got the grays, right? So, sometimes it gets like, is this a generational thing, right? But I'm glad I feel seen. Thank you. So now I've got data. It's customer service. I knew that was a thing, and I knew it wasn't just me. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just going to add to that because I know we're getting ready to wrap up with our rapid fire HR panel. But real quick, I think when we think about customer service, I know this is off topic. What we have done, this is a shameless plug actually, what we've done at the Chamber is we've been on this like internal listening. What is happening in community? What are the rumblings? What are the things we're hearing? And customer service was number one. So I think it was like last month I went down over to Wenatchee, and I took a 3-day training and I became certified in gold service customer service with the NRA. National Retail Association, Restaurant Association, not the NRA, whatever. Either way, I've got good customer service, okay? Gold customer service. And so what we're going to be rolling out for our businesses starting with our restaurants, our hotels, restaurants and our hotels, is going in and certifying their businesses or their employees on customer service, gold standard customer service, where they are able to get a certificate, right? And so we start thinking about the workforce, and we're talking about, I know the number said 5.1%, I believe, in Kent is unemployed, but how many of those people actually have a certification if they wanted to go and do something different, right? Think about folks, again, diversity. Think about folks who have been justice involved, and maybe they're not able to get employment. We want to be able to assist them with this certificate and say, hey, they've taken this certification. They are the gold standard, or they understand the gold standard in service. And so now that's something, again, where we're helping the community. So I think, again, it just kind of full circle. It just goes back to ensuring that you're providing, or you are tapping in or getting access to the things that's going to help you move from point A to point B, and understanding what's available to you. So.
Well, thank you for that little plug, because I needed to know about this gold standard certification. I'm going to places now. Are you gold standard? Oh, you're not? You don't know? Oh,
call your chamber.
Right, there you go.
Call your chamber.
So I'm going to end with you, Zenovia. So small and micro businesses often lack dedicated HR teams, training budgets, and recruitment capacity. What support do they need to compete for talent, develop employees, and create clearer pathways for advancement? And that'll be our last question for the day.
I think, and I'm saying I think because I don't know if folks are really, from the survey, I know you all were here for the survey, we asked a question about, what do you need from us right now? What's happening with your particular workforce? And there was a lot of, I'm struggling. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know, right? And so the businesses who do not have access to your HR and all of those other departments, you have to be very mindful and critical with who you partner with, right? And making sure that you create these extensions of what you need. There are enough partners within your community, and Kent specifically, we're the 6th largest city in the state of Washington. What you need is here. I would say, as a shameless plug, to start with the Chamber of Commerce, but literally look and see who's in your plaza. Look and see who you have access to. Who are you going to church with? Who are you going to the grocery store with? There are people that have resources that can help you fill in the gap, and not feeling like you have to be the one to make all of those decisions. There are people and partnerships that you can engage in that can assist with that.
Well said. Thank you, Zenovia. So I think this wraps up this portion of it, and we're going to do a rapid fire open for questions.
No, we're going to rapid fire
Okay.
HR.
Okay.
Oh,
We're done.
well, you can ask questions. We're ready.
Any questions for the panelists?
Just want to shout out really quick. Is that Hugo in the back? Yeah, Hugo. Yeah, good to see you from State Department.
Okay.
Questions? All right.
Awesome.
Thank
Well, we
you.
did a good job. High five.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.